All right, so now that we've learned, a little bit more about soloing and as well as the chords in the left hand, let's learn how to practice all this. Let's learn how to really get good at, playing that C pentatonic or that white key scale in our right hand and to get really fluent. Because, if you can play this like really slow, it's going to sound all right, but you're eventually going to get pretty bored of that. And if you want to like spice it up a little bit more, what you can do is you can just practice it and just get it up to speed. So what I mean by that is you play this in your left hand. We're playing really slow. 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to play, one beat in my left hand for every one note in my right hand. And then I'll switch every 4 chords that I play. So it'll sound like this. So like 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you'll just keep doing that. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in my right hand, I'm just using the C pentatonic. And so you'll play 4 chords in your left hand and then switch it every 4 chords. And you're playing 1 note in your right hand for every 1 chord in your left hand. So this is how I started to practice. Like, I didn't know anything about piano. I didn't really have a teacher either. So like I had to invent my own exercises that would get me up to speed with my right hand. So what I wanted to do was I was like, oh, well, I got to find some way to, play this stuff faster. Like maybe I learned to see pentatonic somehow, But then I didn't know how to get really fluent in it. So I just made this little exercise where I play this, one chord for every 1 note. And that's where I started. So watch how this starts to get a little bit faster and faster and faster as I speed it up, but starting from a very slow tempo at first. So I start with, I'm going to start speeding up. And then it kind of starts to get kind of crazy for your left hand to be playing that many chords in succession. So then I thought, okay, well, why don't we just play, 1 chord here, then we'll play 2 notes in our right hand. So then that way it would still be like not too crazy in my left hand where I'm like having to just kind of be hyperactive and stuff. But instead I could just play 2 notes in my right hand, and it'll sound really really relaxed and good. So just listen. So this is what I would do. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm playing 2 notes in my right hand. So 2, 3, 4, and then I'll switch the chords. So 1, 2, 4, and I'm just soloing in C pentatonic here, just random notes. But you can see how that even right there, like that sounds pretty good. It's just, but all I'm doing is just really practicing, basically, kind of like making an exercise out of this. But eventually, you want all of these notes to be feeling, like you're conveying feeling through them. And even though I'm just playing 2 notes here and 1 beat here, I can still make this sound really good. And especially as I speed it up, then you'll see how it starts to actually become music. And then I'll throw different pauses in there as well. So yeah, so just listen to this. So I'll start off really slow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll show you what I would do if I was actually using that to solo, because I'm staying in such a strict pattern of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, like just 2 notes for every 1 beat in my left hand. But if I was kind of adding little pauses and adding extra notes in there, it would start sounding really cool. So I really encourage you to do this. So take 1 note in your left hand, and now I'm going to incorporate more pauses and other notes in my right hand. So I would go like, that's like a lot of fun to play, but I'm only using the C pentatonic there, and I start off, with this simple thing. But you can even make that even more complex and say, I'm going to play one note here or one chord here for every 4 notes in my right hand, and then you'll start getting crazy, like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and you can just kind of go faster and faster and faster and faster and get more and more complicated. But you start off like really slow and incrementally. But eventually you're going to sound just really awesome if you can get that under your fingers. So yeah, that's something I really encourage you to do. That's just a way of practicing all these different techniques that I've taught you. Using C pentatonic or like the all white keys scale, you can do that. You can play these chords in your left hand, 2. So now I'm using all white keys, right? But you can use this for anything, really. Here, I'll use it for arpeggios that we were doing from the last lesson. So you would use it like this. So you'd go 1, and man, you can just use this in like so many different ways. So yeah, just, go and practice in this way and just see how it really helps you. And you can use a metronome to help you with this, it'll just give you a beat, like a straight beat at whatever tempo that you set it at. But you can just raise that up higher or lower based on, how you're doing when you're soloing with your right hand. So yeah, you definitely use that as a technique to practice. And in the next lesson, we're just going to kind of bring all this together and with the overall theme of piano breaks as well, and just see how you can express yourself using all these techniques and chords that I've taught you.